G'day, fellas. And welcome to game number 32 for Outback Octagon number 4. This is mega random, and oh my god, that's a disgusting map. Wow. Okay, we got triple ponds, technically quadruple ponds if you really want to get technical, which is the best kind of technical. We've got a lot of stealth forest that's in here, and we got a whole bunch of kings that are all together. You'll love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the final game of the group stage. We are here. This is the moment that matters most, because if you are below that top 16 threshold, you will be going out after this game. So it's incredibly important you have a good game if you are below that threshold or if you're on the edge of it. Let's take a look at our players, and then we're going to get into the ladder, see where they sit, because this will essentially take us to our final 16, this game right here. Spawning in on the west side of the map in the color red, playing as Joan of Arc. Representing Team Volta Esports at Zertton. To his northeast in the color pink, playing as the Malians. Oh, scary. Representing Team M8, it's Marine Lord. To his north in the color blue, playing as the Rus, it's Sass. To his east, playing as the Chinese. Representing Volta Esports as well, it's Mattis. To Mattis' south, in the color purple, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. Good spawn for him here. Representing Volta Esports, it's MSNDK. And very, very close by in the color orange, playing as the French, it's Core 7525 on Discord for coaching. And rounding out our, well, I was going to say rounding out our 8, we've actually got somebody who's found a spot towards the south of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, in the south of the map in the color yellow, playing as the Mongols, it's Tughlag. And finally, rounding out our 8 players for today, in the color green, playing as the Byzantines, it's Zertton. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. A pleasure to have your company. Who will find the water? Because that will often tell you who the victor will be. And today it looks like Anatan will find the water. Now, do any other players know about the water? If we check in with Core, he's got no idea. If we look at Sass's perspective, he's got no clue. If we have a look at Mattis has got no idea either. If we look at Anatan, he's obviously well and truly aware. He's established himself out over here. Who else have we got? We got Marine Lord in the house, and he is unaware either, though it does very much look like there's water over here. So I'm going to say right now, Marine Lord, that's a skill issue. You should very much see that that is the shoreline coming down here. Who else have we got in here? We got Zertton over on the east, who kind of knows about the presence of water, but there's no ponds. This is definitely looking like lowlands. It almost looks like, actually, no, you can see on the minimap it is technically water, but has no clue. And who else have we got? MSNDK in the middle of the map. Oh, this is starting to look scary. And then finally in the south of the map, Tughlag is only just discovering this monstrosity that he's got all to himself right now. Whether or not he looks to come out here, right now in this position, I would genuinely move every single villager I've got to wood and go crazy for it. I mean, the thing is, we've got information that they don't, right? Like, we know that he's all alone. So we know that he's not going to get harassed and that he's not going to have problems in this game. So we can easily say, like, hey, yeah, good idea. Let's go into quadruple dock early. But obviously, he doesn't know that. Anyway, let's take a look at the ladder. Before the age ups come through, let's take a look at the ladder and see where these guys are placed. Get a bit of an idea on who's at the top, who's at the bottom, who needs to make points in this game. Let's take a look and see where these players currently sit. This is where our players currently fall. As you can see, they are the players with 7 games that have been played. This is the final game for this stage of the tournament. People like Sass, Core, Marine Lord, they're looking pretty safe up there. Very unlikely that they get kicked out considering how high they are. In fact, no chance of them getting kicked out here. There's really only one player that can go through or can propel themselves up into that top 16. So the question is going to be, who is it? Is it going to be Tughlag, who is on 14 points, tied with Louis MT at the moment? And we'll have to double check because that might be a tiebreaker situation if he doesn't score points here. Anatan on 11 points, currently with 7 games played. And we've also got a little bit further down the ladder, Mattis and Zertton on 2 and 1 points respectively. They could have an absolutely killer game here and propel themselves up onto that top 16. We have seen players get 15 points in a game. I'm talking about Core specifically, got 15 points in a game and then never got another point. Not really. He's got 3. And then all the way down at the bottom, not to be forgotten, MSNDK. Our only player in the event, other than GUA, who's on 0 points. Is he going to potentially score in this game? In the final moments of the event, it could be the time that he does it. He's got a decent little spawn for it. If he wants to go, this is the game to do it right now. MSNDK. Everything is on the line right here, right now. Let's take a look and see what the age ups are coming in as towards the south side of the map. We've got the deer stones for Killjadi. No age up coming through just yet for Anatand. Meanwhile, for Marine Lord, we see the Mansa Quarry coming up for him. Towards the north of Marine Lord, the Golden Gate for Sass. Over towards the east, got the Imperial Academy for Matiz. Down towards the south of him, MSNDK moving up with the mine work. No real surprise there. School of Cavalry for Core. And over towards the east, no age up just yet for Zertton. He'll be clicking very soon. He's got beautiful little control over these systems, and he's had to really move out to quite some distance. You can see he's actually... Can we take a look at this? Does that hit the gold? It hits the gold. Of course it hits the gold. Interesting positioning on the mining camp. I don't know why you just wouldn't go right there, bad boy. That way you forget about the first one. But I guess you've already got the mining camp at home, so we don't have to worry about it. A little bit of chat going on in this game. These guys are yappers, certified yappers right now. That is for sure. We do finally have a water happening. And speaking of water, it looks like a villager in the north. Matt is spotting out the water here. He's beginning to make his way up here as well. Now, this has been spotted by Core. Core basically saying, hey, don't even think that you're going to be getting a contested or uncontested water advantage in this game. Marine Lord coming to scare that away. Now, keep in mind, there's warrior scouts, or at least the prospect for them. So that could be a problem as well for this party or for this lobby. So this is it. This is what it all comes down to right here, right now. Players need to put their best foot forward. It's honestly anybody's game. Like, you could have MSNDK whip this entire lobby with a Burgrave. You know, it could happen. It could happen. Maybe he picks up all the relics and grabs a Burgrave. And speaking of relics, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, close by. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm seeing 8 relics. I'm probably missing a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's got to be an 11th somewhere. I've missed one somewhere. I know it. I'm not going to bother counting anymore. You guys have heard me count. I sound like I'm speaking to my son. Like, what comes after 16? Yeah, that's right, 24. He can count to 67, I'll tell you that right now. God, why is... Don't get me started on that stupid... That's not a meme. That's not even a meme, dude. Memes have meaning. You know, back in my day, our memes had meaning. We'd share jokes about how we all felt the same way about a specific topic at school. Burgrave Palace now coming in. No real surprises here. He's going to try and get on the board in this game. At the very least, he wants to walk away knowing that he didn't come last. Would we have to put him last? I mean, it's VES, MSNDK. GUA is technically before him. MSNDK, you're going to have to score points here, son. Let's see if we can pull it out today. Meanwhile... Oh, you know what? We didn't pick our highest chance of winning and our lowest chance of winning. Or our first to be kicked out. First to be kicked out here. Oh, would you guys hate me if I said Marine Lord? I mean, he is playing the Malians. Actually, you know what? Looking at the position on the map, I kind of feel like Core. Maybe Core's the first one kicked out. It's a bit of a weird spot. MSNDK, right as his neighbor as well. You could go Matiz, to be honest. Matiz kind of, you know, it's a little bit scary. You probably want to hit Matiz before you hit Core. Because Core's going to be more of like a feudal age guy that you can fight, whereas Matiz, if he gets built up, he'll get crossbows and you can't ever kill him. So that's something to consider. Marine Lord in the chat. The one we are scared of might have some problem. I don't know what. Maybe we are wrong, say, or Sassy. Why? The one we're scared of might have some problem. You hungry, Matiz? Says MSNTK. Yeah. We see it right now. You hungry, Matiz? Oh, baby. It's coming. Now, does Matiz know that it's coming? That's the other question. Matiz now going to send the scout down. Spots the Burgrave. He knows it's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Begin the printing. MSNDK. And look at the Barbican, immediately goes down. Oh, is it going to be down in time, though? He's been a little bit late out of the gate. Instead, going into Spearmen, going to start off with Veterans, not moving into the Men-at-Arms instead. They're a little bit quicker, so we have that going for him. And a lot of villagers playing the Chinese. So at the very least, you know, it's interesting to say that in the chat. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it. But at the same time, you've given away your hand. You have bluffed your opponent. You've won the hand, and now you've laid the cards down. And you've given away, hey, look, I'm a bluffer. By the way, what's that? What's going on here, you silly duffer? Let's check back in. So if we had to give our first place, I'm going to go with Enatad. I like his position. He's got a good spot. I mean, it's tempting as well to say Killjadi. Both of these guys could potentially take over the lobby. And he's playing Mongols. Actually, Mongols. Killjadi. Definitely going for Killjadi here. I don't know why, but this Civ is just a scary Civ. No monastery down yet, by the way. Got 3 relics in the bank. So, you know, he's doing well in that regard. How are we doing back over here? Core has hit the castle age as well. So even Core is just going straight castle, not messing around in feudal at all. Didn't go for the second TC. And I guess that makes sense considering his proximity to the other players in this lobby. More spearmen continue to be rallied out towards this spot. And it feels like MSNDK really not hitting the same burst of speed that we typically see these Burgrave players come out with. Now, we start to see more units coming out. Enatan, keep in mind, despite the fact that he is doing a bit of a fish boom, double dock boom over here, he is also still in the feudal age. And he's going to start hurting Marine Lord early on in this game. Joan of Arc coming out, collecting a little bit of XP here. Let's right on board with Enatan so we can see those numbers as those villagers get picked off. +5, we'll take it. Down back towards the center of the map. Marine Lord saying, oh, in the chat. And Sassy saying he has water, he's not hungry. North corner, told you, deep sea and everything. Oh, there it is, getting called out. I think that's Matiz that he's calling out right there. So basically saying, guys, let's kill Matiz. Like he's got the deep sea fish. He's a runaway. And look, Sassy now wanting to put a stop to it. Not going to happen. The junk going to be able to cancel this out. Meanwhile, to the south, got Joan of Arc together with these knights, and Marine Lord got no answer to this whatsoever. Marine Lord with 2 Donzos in queue. Not even 2 Donzos to his name. Completely outnumbered, completely outgunned. I didn't want to say it before, but I was looking at this spot thinking, this is a scary little spot here for Marine Lord. The heal comes through. Enatan trying to keep these knights alive. Royal Knights at that. And now we do them back over here. We're doing all right. We're doing all right, MSNDK. We're doing okay. What's the go for Matiz? Because Matiz has got the age up now coming through. This is tough where it's like you don't want to put... Yeah, definitely a smart decision. You don't want to go into crossbows when they make spears, and you don't want to go into Jukunu when they make men-at-arms. So what do? You scout. That's going to be the key distinction here. So let's check in with Matiz and see what he's doing. No real scouting coming out, but he hasn't committed to a specific unit yet. He could look to play into Palace Guards. Probably not the smartest move, considering you're against the Holy Roman Empire. They do have that +6 heavy... that we do need to be aware of. There we go, +6 heavy for your men-at-arms. So you definitely don't want to take that fight as the Chinese. Of course, you could always look to add in your own crossbows to supplement it, but not going to be the case. Kiljadi now reaching the castle age as well. This is where it starts to get scary. This is where the Mongol begin to propel. And have a look at this. Hold on a minute. Core actually discovering the water to the south. Okay. Sacred sites. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th one? Where's the 4th one? It's always a 4th sacred site. Where is it? I don't see it. I don't see it. Are we calling it a 3 sacred site game? It'd be kind of cool if we could see how many sacred sites were in the game. Just a little... Something over here. I mean, that's where the chat is. Maybe something over here. 0 out of 3. That sort of thing. Be kind of cool. Speaking of kind of cool, let's take a look at the spearman in the base. Oh my god, he's trying to rush the Red Palace. Oh, he was going for a fast Imperial. He said, I know the way I can survive this. I just go fast Imperial. And you know what? You know what? MSNDK says, no, that's not how it happens. I'm going to make you my first blood, and I'm not going to allow you to go to Imperial Age. Core now in trouble. Core with 17 villagers. He's committing as hard and as fast as he can here. Where's the rest of them? They're all, oh, they got, oh, Lord, they're all down to the south. He's got nothing left. He's got nothing left. What a perfect strike now by MSNDK. It gets cancelled. The landmark. The king is remaining inside the town center. All the villagers killed. He's down to how many villages? 8 villages. And there's a lot of units here. This is problematic. And we start to see the sharks circling the water, making their way. Villagers now coming across. Oh, he's hungry. He's so hungry. It's the last game that he can potentially get points, and he wants it bad. And boy, oh boy, is he got to get it right now. This is first blood if he can get his name on the board. But take a look at what we've got down here to the south as Marine Lord reaches the castle age. The Donzos manage to survive. The Knights are down towards that position. King about to be out of water. You love to see it, don't you? Early on in the game, 14 minutes into it. And Core, our first player eliminated today, MSNDK, picking up the points and cementing his position, not as last on the ladder, not anymore. The Kings now coming through, down towards that south side, and oh, we got trouble. We got trouble in paradise. Did I pick the wrong horse? Did I pick the wrong horse? Kiljadi, you know, we were talking about how good he looked because he was playing Mongols, but then all of a sudden he was contested on water. Now all of a sudden, these docks don't matter. Why don't these docks matter? Well, these docks don't matter because your opponent's dead. And that's always a good thing. Meanwhile, the defense not looking the hottest. Enatan able to chase around all of these villagers now. And that is trouble. Kiljadi with only 6 Keshiks. This could be a quick one right here. I'm saying it right now. This could be a quick one. Meanwhile, relics are getting slowly picked up and stored away. More relics coming through. 4 relics. Honestly, not that bad for MSNDK right here, but obviously opens with the Burgrave. Definitely a smart call. Where does he go next? You'd think that he would move towards Matiz, but I'll tell you a better option. What if he moved towards Zertton instead? Zerton's got a whole bunch of Keshiks out himself, That's perfect. That's perfect. You're all spears, baby. You're all spears with a whole bunch of men-at-arms. Meanwhile, towards the south, King, unfortunately, going to be dying out here. We picked the wrong horse, killed Jardi. You know, sometimes you get him, sometimes you get got, and today was the day that we got. Now, this just makes it really, in my mind, that there is a one-horse race here. I know that we've been talking horses and racing and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually not a gambler. Though, I will say right now, did you know Australia's gambling per capita is the highest in the world by far? Like, it is crazy, dude. Can I just tell you a little bit about Australian laws as well? We have this new law that came in, and basically, it means that children in Australia can't be logged into YouTube. So you want to know what happens? All of the children, like people that are under 15 or I think it's under 16, they get kicked out of their YouTube. King going down. They get kicked out of their YouTube. That they like previously had like a YouTube Kids account now, or a guided account, a guided access, like the adult is looking after it. Now all of a sudden, they get signed out of that account. Where's the king? There's the king coming out now. He's gonna be going down almost certainly. There's no way he's coming out of this. And that's a +1 right there. Let's check in on the minimap and make sure that we're not missing any other potential king kills. Oh my god, that was loud. Jeez, that was loud. Nice little siege coming up here. I like that Sass is really hard anchored towards this. But anyway, it kicks them out of the account. And now all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you, they can't look at like their recommendations. So sure, that's a bad thing. But they also can't access YouTube Premium anymore. So now they get ads. And you know what they get ads for? Gambling. It's so funny. It's just a classic case. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm as left-winged as they come, bro. I'm like, you know, imagine where like socialism is on the scale, bro, and like put the marker like 26 points to the left of that. That's where I am. But because we've got a left-wing government, but still, I'm just like, this is kind of weird, guys. I don't know, man. I don't think you thought this one through. Anyway, a little bit of Australian politics for you guys. All right, well, we got ourselves a spearman in the middle of the map. Decapping the sacred site slowly, the spearman number continues to improve here for MSNDK, who's picked up 6 relics in this game. Now, normally we'd jump up and down about the Holy Roman Empire player who's got 6 relics, but he's got no regnants. So it's really not as powerful as you'd think, because normally that 6 relics would be the equivalent of 12 relics. But in these circumstances, I think he's done a really good job in going into this early Burgrave. He's got himself a good position that he's carved out here. I think the biggest thing for MSNDK as he puts down his Imperial Age landmark, he's going into Swabia. And I think this is actually the correct choice, which is crazy, because normally I'd be like, okay, we want to try and get Elsbach, and Elsbach's great, but you need to get that second TC up a little bit faster. We're already at the 18-minute mark here, and if you drop the second TC now, everyone is going to be well and truly ahead of you. If we take a look at the Vil counts here, is there anybody else in the lobby who's gone for 2 TC? Not really. In fact, no one else has gone for TC. Nobody has gone for TC full stop. Maybe Matt is? Nope, not even Matt is. No one's gone for 2 TC. Everyone's sticking on a single TC for this game. So he's not even that far behind. But normally you'd be very far behind. Normally at this point in the game, like, players would be encroaching upon like the 80 to 90 villager mark. And, you know, you can catch up to them with your Palace of Swabia, but it probably just feels like, obviously, yes, you catch up with the Swabia, but if you can get that second TC down a little bit sooner, definitely helps. All right, how we doing over towards this west side? Musafati starting to come out. Marine Lord definitely lacking a little bit. In fact, going into the big cow landmark, and this is one of the differences that we see out of him playing as the Malians. We've seen a number of successful players playing the Malians. We've seen Wham. I think we've also seen Corvinus 1, maybe even Beastie, I want to say, to an extent. Farimba Garrison was always the choice when it came to the landmarks. But here we see the Grand Fulani Corral coming out, the big cow landmark, and you can see some chat. That was hilarious. It could have worked. Not you, MSN. Jeez, Marine Lord coming out of the blocks a little bit angry. I don't know exactly what happened. Was Marine Lord... There's no damage on buildings here, and I didn't see any big amount of units, and oh my lord. Okay, Springalds are actually the smartest play here. The Springalds, oh my god, look at the damage the Springalds do, dude. They are wonderful. As long as you've got units to frontline against the Musofati, then the Springalds are going to get such value. Bring them in nice and close like this. Yeah, exactly. Come on, fight me. I dare you, says Sass. Meanwhile, over towards that east side, look how far away Zertton is from home now. Zertton is out. He's hunting. He wants to try and find that king. Oh, no. Oh, no. Does he know about this? His army's in the right spot. Why is he moving it away from the town center, though? Because this is very scary, and you can see the Green King is out now, and now it begins. And he's moved the army away. Oh, what are you doing? Zertton, go for the king, son. Go. Get in there. Meanwhile, back towards the base of Marine Lord, we got ourselves plenty of Springles. I think, oh, that could have been GG easily, dude. I mean, not easily. That you're outnumbered by a mile. He probably has it. It's fine. But you know who doesn't have it? Not against MSNDK, that is for sure. MSNDK looking incredible in this game right now. Trebuchet's coming down. Look at this, the double gate on the front. Sassy getting a little bit sassy with Marine Lord. Why? Why are these kings in freaking outposts, dude? Put them in your town center. Oh, he's just out getting vulnerable. Springles holding for the front. Lancers running through. Knights running through, excuse me. From the roofs. Now on the run. 2 knights. Oh, Marine Lord. He's going to have to pop the sprint. He's got the double crowns out. Musafati come in. There's way too many knights. Pop the sprint, Marine Lord. He's making a run for it. He manages to... Oh, it's going to be close. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Can you forgive me? Will you forgive me? Will you allow a little bit of forgiveness into your heart as both of the favorites for this game actually just get picked off? Wow, look at how many units were here as well. I would have loved to have seen it both, but unfortunately, we only get to see one. Marine Lord lives by the skin of his tongue for a second, and unfortunately, it means that we miss this kill. I would have loved to have been able to spot it, but unfortunately, not today. All right, let's check back in and see how things... Dude, things are heating up, that is for sure. Wow, so we have just lost 2 of our favorites. So obviously, Anatan able to take out Tughlag earlier. Tughlag was definitely a big fish. But what's kind of wild is that both of our water players have been eliminated now. With, I think, Anatan just making, like, this is as clear cut as it gets when it comes to making a mistake. What's the mistake? I mean, we didn't see exactly what happened here, so I'm going to caveat that. Because obviously Anatan was spooked. We don't know what happened that he got spooked, but he was very spooked. We could see that. He moved the king all the way back here. He thought he was safe, but when you move the king into an outpost, everyone sees that, right? Because everyone's looking at your king. Because they pop their own king out, they use trees, and they say, oh my god, there's a king in an outpost over there. Let's just go kill it. Come on, well, we can maybe get an extra 50 pop here. And now you're just attracting sharks. And it's like, if you just kept the king in the TC, sure, that's a bit more risky, but at the end of the day, the sharks aren't going to come circling, are they? And you had multiple sharks here circling just because that king was in an outpost. And literally from the other side of the map, by the way, this king was, or these sharks were circling. You had Zertton over here looking to try and get active for the very first time in this game because of that single king in an outpost. So I think on that side, like, Anatan's going to pick up points here, but definitely not as many as he could have. And it's disappointing because he absolutely needed to. If we think about players that need to win in this game, Tughlag was one of them. Anatan was one of them. Who's left in this game right now that can actually make it into the top 16? I'm just realizing now. Sass is already in there. Zertton's towards the bottom. MSNDK's towards the bottom. Mattis is towards the bottom. We'll quickly take a look in a little bit right here. But it could be the case that the only person that can come out of this might be somebody like Zertton. Because if you think about it from his perspective, right, like I think he's on a decent amount of points. It's potentially within his grasp, and we probably have to math it out right now. Okay, we're going to flash it up on the screen just quickly, because I think we've got a little bit of a lull for the moment. Okay, just making sure. Okay, let's take a look at the leaderboard. So this is obviously unupdated. So there's Tughlag. So Anatan's picked up some points, but I don't know if it's enough to propel him up onto that next page. Tughlag, I don't think, got any points. So who have we got left? We've got Mattis, Zertton, and MSNDK on 2, 1, and 0 points. And then on the other side, we've got Sass. So we've got 3 players that are down there. So Matt is realistically the only player that can have a chance at coming up out of this game. And he's in the worst spot. But the real story is MSNDK. He's managed to pick up a lot of kills here. He's managed to get his first points in this game. But now we start to see more and more units making their way towards this spot. Mattis is in trouble. MSNDK is feeling very good about himself. He's already picked up 2 kills, by the way. He's going under the radar. I don't think people are realizing this. And you can see Mattis in the chat. MSN on me. Zertton on me. Communicating this out. And Sass now going to say, okay, I'm going to help. Begins making his way out. But even then, it's not going to be enough. The king is in here. Bro, MSNDK, he peaked a little bit too late, unfortunately. And it's hard to say for a guy who's only 16 years old. But unfortunately, the king goes down. He's going to have to pull it out. I need to do the math right here. Okay, if he gets 6 points for a win and 1 point for a kill, and he was on 0 points, but he got first blood, so he's on at least 2, 3, 4 points right now. 5, 6, and then 6 points for a win will push him to 12. That's still not enough to get into the top 16. Oh, there's a way that he can win. If he takes all the sacred sites and then he kills them. If he takes all the sacred sites and kills them, he will get double points. So the way that the sacred site works is interesting. So when we award points to someone for the sacred site victory, we base it on when the sacred site counter starts. So as an example, if you've got one person in the middle, like Corvinus, and they've got 6 people around them that are all alive, they get an extra 6 points if they win with the sacred victory on top of all those players that they eliminate. So let's say in the game, out of those 6 players that are still fighting for it when Corvinus grabs that single sacred site in the middle and Don Artie kills Puppy Paw, and because Don Artie's killed Puppy Paw, he gets the points for that. But Corvinus 1 would still get 1 point in the event that he goes on to win for that sacred site. So realistically, MSNDK right now can... I need to math this out, because this could be it right here. We might see a player go from 0 points to the top 16 in a single game, and it's literally the last chance that they've got. There is no one more likely to do it than MSNDK, and he's also gone Swabia as well. Bro, please print. Please print. You need to be printing villages right now. You need to be going to like 200 vills. Oh, he can absolutely do it. He's picking up more relics as well. Biggest risk to him is a snipe. Okay, let's math this. Let's math this. Okay. Sacred site. 3 people alive, so he gets the 6 points. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he got 1, 2, 3, 4. How many points for first blood? Is it 2 points for first blood? I think it's 2 points. That would give him 15 points. It's 2 points for first blood. It's not 1 point for first blood. Because if you get a feudal kill and the kill and... Yeah, it's 2 points. Okay, I gotta make sure that this is right. 5 or 6 points. 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my god, he can do it. Oh, MSNDK, I believe. Oh, I believe right now, MSNDK. Oh my lord. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, he's going. Oh my god, MSNDK. Oh my god, MSNDK. This guy's young as, bro. That's the other thing that's crazy. Oh my god, what a time to leave the run. MSNDK going for it right now. From 0 to hero in a single game. I said it was possible. I said it was possible. There were people that were like, I remember there were YouTube comments that were like, oh, these guys at the bottom have got no chance. And that was in like week 2 that was saying it. And here we are in week 4 where you literally have an opportunity right now for a guy to obliterate an entire lobby, single-handedly, sacred site victory. It's going to be hard though. So the best way for him to do this is not to take the sacred sites yet. Basically what he needs to do is he needs to start killing one of these players, and then while he's killing the player, take the sacred site. That way that you take the sacred site, you get the extra point for the kill, and you get the point for the kill, and then you get the extra points for the sacred site as well. You also want to make sure you prep these sites a little bit. You want to stonewall in these ones. These are a bit harder to keep control of. These ones are obviously fine. You're going to be able to pull vills if you need to stall the site. This one's the hard one. So I think in saying that, you want to try and focus this down as much as you can. Oh, so I wouldn't necessarily say he's jumped the gun, but it's one of those things where it's like you can see that he knows exactly what he needs to do, but it's just like these little inexperiences that he will learn as he plays more FFA. And that's one of the really good things about like our number 1 point leader, Corvinus 1, is like he knows all of these things. So he would be doing the math in his head and he'd be like, okay, carry the 1. Yep, we're good to go here. Let's prep for that. And then he would go about doing it. And there's so many factors to consider, but right now, it's still a ball game. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. He's got enough. There's a potential way for him to get it, and he's literally achieving it right now. Sacred Site does get knocked out. He needs to make sure he cannot eliminate a player unless that Sacred Site is in play. The Sacred Site must be in play, so he gets the extra point of potentially winning from a Sacred victory. So I'll say that right now. But this is a very tense position here for MSNDK. I wonder if he knows how close he is to it. Obviously, at the end of the day, these players know the rules, they know the laws, they know the awarding and the scores and how it goes. So they want to try and maximize that. But coming from 0 points down, you would think it's not possible, right? Like, you would walk into this game thinking, all right, I'm just here for the memes. I'm just here for the dreams. And it turns out that the dream is actually to get to the semifinals. And it turns out MSNDK actually has a chance. I can't believe I'm saying it. It's ridiculous. Okay, how are we doing back here? Sassy looking decent. 3 TCs, always nice. So got quite a bit of a build-up back here. Bro, I can't believe on the last game as well, MSNDK is just setting us up like this. Okay, so he's back towards this position. So I think the best thing that he can do is, like, try and make these players, like, basically take a leg off both of these players. That's essentially it. Make it so they're both limping, and then take the Sacred Site to then try and grab the victory. You can try and stall out and actually go for a Sacred Victory. It's always a good option. Elite Knights now coming out. Now, keep in mind, he also, he went into Mine Work, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So he's got the extra Knight armor, which is just Chef's Kiss, +5 ranged armor. Amazing. Spears in the back. He's coming and doing a little bit of an exploratory mission, just scouting out to see what's going on here. Palatine School and the King inside the keep. This is exactly how you do it. Keep them both safe. He's also got the outpost as well, just for backup in case you need it. Bit of chat going on. Zertton, what's your favorite color? Sass, are you ready? Almost. See, you can see he's kind of waiting for it as well. So very much, I think that MSNDK is in the driver's seat here. He needs to go. He needs to attack. He needs to look to try and punish these players. And the thing is, he can absolutely do it. He's got emergency repairs. He's got relics. This is one of the things that he's missing, right? And this is one of the things that comes with experience. And Corvinus 1, I'm sure, will be sitting here going, yeah, he did this wrong, did that wrong. Outposts. Outposts with fortifications. Sorry. Fortifications, yes. And cannon emplacements all around this position, so that inevitably when the enemy comes knocking, they're dying. And then, obviously, you're getting all your upgrades. You're getting court architects. Then you can go attack. There's no real risk to you back here. Emergency repairs on the keep. Pop the king into the second keep. By that time, you already have your army back here. So you should be easily able to kill and then defend at the same time. The main risk that you've got is landmarks. That's the big problem. And there's no real isolation of landmarks. You got 1, 2, 3 that are all together. Swabi is about the best bet. So I'd almost be tempted to, like, throw a keep down right here. Keep your king in that, and then cannon emplacements all around that. And then that way, you're going to be safe from that potential snipe. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, it only really comes with experience and playing these FFA games, you know, hundreds and hundreds of times. I don't know too much about MSNDK other than obviously he's young. I know that about him. And he's a very good player. He knows what he's doing. But as he ages, he will grow. He will get more experience. And I tell you what, like, can we just for a second, you know, how nice would it be to be 16 years old again? Oh my lord, dude, it's crazy. You would literally, I don't know about you, but I would trade everything to go back to when I was 16, and then I'd buy Bitcoin. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, it's, you know what's crazy is, like, you'd go back, you'd buy Bitcoin, and then, like, Bitcoin would never happen. It was like you'd invested all of your money into Bitcoin, and Ethereum was the one that took off. And everyone's like, "What's Bitcoin?" It's like, you never heard of Bitcoin? Yeah, it was what happened before Ethereum, dude. It's, you know, it's important to diversify. All right, remember that, folks. Okay, we got ourselves a little bit of a movement down. A whole bunch of spearmen have just cleaned up. I don't know what they were cleaning up. They were cleaning up something in the north. A lot of space is starting to happen over here. Now, Sass has gone to Imperial Age. He's gone with the High Armory. This is the first time that we've ever seen a Rus player go for the High Armory. The High Armory, obviously, well, I shouldn't say the first time we've seen it. It's the first time in Outback Octagon that we've seen it. Decreases the cost of siege workshops. Or I should say Outback Octagon 4. Because we have had players very specifically, intentionally avoid the Spasskaya Tower. You may remember that game of Anatan on Uluru, where he ran, or rather, he had Core run the gauntlet. I'm not sure if you remember that game. That was a great game. And, well, he had to utilize fortified palisade walls to do it. Big army coming out. A little bit of a choke point in here. Springles are going to get very good value. Treb's also looking to fire down on the outpost. Meanwhile, towards the back, oh my god, look at the spearman just beautifully. Oh, Sass just playing that perfectly. Oh, wow, Sass. I mean, you can see the importance of not being the sitting duck. And MSNDK, unfortunately, sitting and quacking and floating like a duck. You know what they say? If it looks like a duck and it smells like a duck, there's a good chance it's probably a duck. And unfortunately, the duck hunters are coming out to play. Sass on one side. On the other side, the slow movement of Zerton's army begins to make its way out here as well. We got ourselves quite the army. Big Rus ball moving through. Infantry down to the south, cavalry up to the north, but the trouble that you've got is this is such a disgusting little choke point. He's going to try and get us around, but even then it doesn't matter. There's no surface area. Look at all these knights. You got how many knights up here? 29 knights, 30 knights up here, and only 4 of them are fighting, and they're fighting against spears in the choke. Streltsy in the back. Springles, I mean, he's going to get through. He's going to be able to eventually clear this all up, but at what cost? He's losing so much, and Sassy's got resources in the bank, but MSNDK, he's bleeding. He's bleeding right now. We see the keep go down. Emergency repairs, I think, was used, but unfortunately not going to be able to keep that alive. The consequence of just waiting this out. He definitely could have gone a little bit earlier. It's painful to see, especially because we know the truth. We know the reality that he actually could have made the top 16 from 0 points, potentially up to 16 in a single game. But unfortunately, it looks like it's fading away. He's now under attack from the south. A lot of spearmen here, able to counteract the cataphracts. Springle's also looking to squeeze him in. And it could be the case that we potentially see a Zertton versus Sass endgame here. MSNDK up to 137 villages. Needs to make sure he continues printing. And indeed he is printing from the Swabia. Back towards that east side. One of the good things, one of the saving graces that MSNDK has got right now is that they are not attacking him at the same time. They are attacking him one by one. And this means that a lot of work is not being done. They're just kind of relaxing their armies while they wait, while they build up. And you can see now more movement, more movement coming out. I think I just had a stroke. Hopefully not. More movement coming out on that north side. There we go. We got it all out in the end. Dude, I can't believe... No. Oh my god. I was so scared when I saw 1 out of 15. I'm like, no, no, no. No, no. But just remember, I don't know if MSNDK has done the calculations. Even if that was the king, you still wouldn't take it in that position. I mean, you would take out the keep. You'd probably try and kill the army. He's going to put down another keep here. And you just hope that the king doesn't die. And then you try and take the sacred site. I think that's what you do. Now, keep in mind, you'd only get that extra point for that king kill if you actually won with the sacred site that you took. So if like the enemy took or like neutralized the sacred site, then that extra point wouldn't go over to you. It's only for that last sacred site that's been taken and eventually turns into a sacred site victory or your enemy resigning, one of the two. But now, cavalry moving together with spearmen on the north side. All pikes has obviously come through here. He's got the extra charge damage together. The forlorn hope. Extra movement speed. We get to see some beautiful Holy Roman Empire infantry as he begins. Finally going on the aggressive. Exactly what he needs to do. He's back to 350 population, by the way. Big economy for him as well. Massive military. Is he just going to focus? I think he's just going to go for it. It might be the right call. The king's in the town center. He's got a couple of pops that he can option out for. King could make a run down towards the south through the wall, through the gate. Wallalol potential is in. And now a lot of units that have come back here, the knights think they might have found a decent angle to attack into. Spears on the south are going to contest as well. No boiling oil at the moment for Sass, so it's going to mean it's hard for him to defend this. Sacred site being taken. Cataphracts now over on the east, and you can see that the king remains inside this keep. No cannon emplacements. Not even on the keep itself, no cannon emplacements. MSNDK with 7 relics to his name. Decent amount of damage being done towards his opponent. Wallalol comes through. This is going to show for everybody on the map. Knights fall back for the moment. Everything is okay. Sass down to 111 villages. Not a whole lot of military and not a lot of resources in the bank. More spears back here for MSNDK. The Burgrave, I don't know whether or not it's pumping, but it definitely feels like it is. 1 spearman every 2 seconds. That's kind of crazy. 30 spearmen every minute just coming out from that single landmark. But you can see the amount of units that are coming out here. And it looks like Sass is going to be able to defend with the combination of spear and streltsy. One mistake one mistake of this push is just the lack of siege. I think just a couple of culverin would have really helped here for MSNDK. 2, 3, 4 would have been lovely to see. And ideally, you just want them sitting up here on this north side, pressed, constantly pushing in, always attacking. That's ideally what you want to be doing. And MSNDK now still sitting on 120 vills less than what Zertton is. Zertton able to successfully take out quite a few villages in that last little attack. The farm going to be going down. You hate to see it. You hate to watch a single farmer stand by. I love the fact he was standing by while it was on fire. He was like, look, I got no time to put out this fire. I only got time for food. And I can't gather food while there's this fire, so I'm just going to have to brood. And so we saw him do so. Let's check in with the outposts of Zertton towards the south side of the map. Have a look at this. Zertton getting some great intel, some great line of sight here. And he's slowly building up. And that's the other thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, Sass is taking a lot of damage, copying a lot of flak here. But the cataphract number holds strong for Zertton. He's at 58 cataphracts, which is a ferocious amount of cataphracts. A super scary amount of cataphracts. So he's going to continue moving across the map here. Villager count still healthy, 123. Let's ride back on board with MSNDK. Is definitely our hero for this game. Whether or not he's going to be able to make a connection with the top 16 is going to be a different story. Outpost on the front. Curious decision here, but it is going to come up. By the way, we've still got emergency repairs in the bank. A couple little bits of damage done to this landmark. I can't believe it. We're actually witnessing a player go from potentially 0 points all the way to the top 16. Let's check back in over on that top side and see how Sass is doing. Sass, how many tickets you got? He's only got 6 tickets in the bank. He's doing a little bit of selling right there. You can see he's just purchased a whole bunch of, or he sold a whole bunch of something. Probably food, most likely. Still got plenty of resources in the bank. Bombard's now going to start working their magic as well. And the unit number's looking a little bit scary. Sass back up to 250 pop now. And MSNDK slowly being worked down. He's at 350 though. He manages to find his way back into it, and it's a struggle. The 2v1 is absolutely real. One thing to note in this 2v1 is they haven't actually been pushing at the same time yet. And this is what you want to do. So you can see how Sass kind of retreated, and he's still retreating. Exactly what you want to do. At the same time, communicate that to your ally, or to the person you're teaming up with, which is doing now in the chat. And now Zertton should start pushing over on this side. Exactly what he's doing. This is what they need to do to tear apart the beast that is MSNDK. And now you can see just how many units he's got here. He wants to try and get around. They're fighting through the wall over on this western flank. More Springalds dishing out the damage, but you can see how many units he's got in here. Honestly, at this point, I feel like MSNDK could probably reinforce to this position and potentially repel. But of course, we are going to see him reinforce back towards the town center. He's a bit more reasonable than that. He's not going to allow these cataphracts to burn down his base. Meanwhile, over towards the west, you can see that somehow the spears and streltsy still holding strong against this force of the Holy Roman Empire. He's finally rounded them up. A lot of units now coming out again for Sass. He's up to 20 spearmen, 14 streltsy, looking to reinforce this position. But keep in mind, no siege is going to mean no progression. This keep is going to be able to hold. You can see the amount of damage it's putting out towards these knights. And now we've got more raids coming in. The cataphracts on the villagers. They found a couple scouts at the back. You want to avoid hitting those scouts primarily because they're just wasting population space from your opponent. So you definitely want to leave them rather than take them. And now MSNDK to 270 population. Sitting on 130 vills. Definitely not where he wants to be. Ideally at this point you'd probably be hoping for about 200 vills. And then really look to try and play into attrition. The idea is you want to have a big villager count, 200 vills, and constantly be fighting, spamming out spears, spamming out knights, spamming out those culverin, making sure they're always in there, always trading. That's the way that you really look to play in this late game. I mean, there's obviously a lot of different philosophies, so keep that in mind. We see players often delete vills when they get to this point and just have a big 300 population ball of military as another potential way to play it out, but definitely depends on the vibe. I think with Swabia, though, 100% you want to be really pushing that vill count up because it's just, I mean, there's no downside to it. And have a look at this. Whole bunch of knights making their way through. Elephant's going to get mauled, and they're communicating. And you can see Zertton in the chat saying, holy fuck, he has a lot. Yeah, XD. I don't know how many vills, like 10? Probably not like 10. Probably a little bit more. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot. He's looking so scary right now. Meanwhile, they're pulling him apart slowly. I can tell you that right now with 100% certainty because they're communicating. And that's the biggest problem, right? The worst thing that can happen in a runaway situation is that the other players on the team don't communicate or they communicate poorly. Dare I say that one chat line? I don't want to talk about it. Do you guys remember that game? Do you remember who said that infamous chat line? I don't want to talk about it. It was a man who had been whispered. A man who had been convinced to attack his ally when in fact he should have attacked the enemy. Yes, I'm talking about Matiz. The same Matiz that was in this very game. Crackety trying to convince him, please stop attacking our ally. Who was he attacking? Was he attacking someone from this game? Maybe he was attacking, like, I can't remember. My memory is not good. Oh, he's going to go for it. I think he's going to go for the king kill. But remember, if he does that, if he gets the king kill without taking the sacred site first, it would mean he would fall short by 1 point. Oh, don't say it ain't so. Oh, my lord, say it ain't so. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is that secret? Is that a secret? Is that a secret? Oh, it's a secret, but it's not a secret. Oh, it's not a secret for long. Oh, my lord, look at that. He's got a huge amount of stables up here, and it's all about to be revealed by Sass. Sass about to absolutely go WTF. I mean, he's going to see these 4 villagers here and think, what the hell are these 4 villagers doing? These random 4 villagers just sitting here. Just waiting. Now he's out mining the gold over on this west side. Sass about to reveal what is inside the walls. The call is coming from inside the house. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 stables. But he already knew that something was up because of the villagers. The villagers triggered in his mind. He said, where did these villagers come from? Why are they behind my walls? And why did they come up here? These were the villagers that built this. They just came up and they were like, yeah, let's gather some wood. They revealed everything. It was only a matter of time until he would have seen it all. But speaking of having it all, it could be the distraction that allows MSNDK to potentially push back Zertton and clean up this army. Keep in mind, this army right here is an expensive army. So while technically, yes, you can replace it, it's very, very expensive and hard to do. Spear's now forced away. Do not want to fight underneath the cannon emplacements. The cannon emplacements obviously providing AoE damage. Something that you need to be very cautious about in these late game fights. And now we see knights starting to come out from the Holy Roman Empire up against the Rus Knights. Now keep in mind, these Rus Knights are very strong. Not only have they got extra health from Boyar's Fortitude, extra damage coming through from that pickaxe upgrade. I think it's the pickaxe. What is it called? Yeah, the poleaxe upgrade. They've also got the bonuses that come through from the Saint's Armor and the Saint's Blade, the Saint's Blessing from their religious unit. So something always to be considering when you're taking fights against them. But now, towards this eastern flank, it looks almost like there's no way through. So I think for MSNDK, like the biggest feedback I can give him, at least for Outback Octagon 5, when he inevitably gets invited again, is, brother, please make some bombards, make some culverin, make some siege. Oh my lord, please make some siege. Like, just think about the amount of cleaning up that could be done right here. You can see them even talking in the chat. Nice try. Tough nut to crack, Sass. Let's do our best. Okay, go. I believe. You can see him encouraging them, like, come on, bring it on. And this is great to see. You know, this is one of those rare occasions where you've actually got a very fair team up that's happened. And this is part of the reason why we allow teaming up in the late game. Just simply because this runaway situation can happen. Can you imagine if these guys weren't communicating, if they weren't coordinating, if they weren't saying like, hey, he's on me, go now? And that's exactly what they're doing right now. MSNDK saying, big fan, by the way, Sass. You love it. You love it. Giving him a little bit of love on the way in. And now sieging everything down. Definitely the right call here as well. You want to bring these things back. Bring that front line back. He needs to start working down the keep, though. Definitely wants to start trimming off the front line. There's quite a bit of it back here. Sass at 250 pop. A lot of units in queue. More than almost 50 units in queue now. So where's the rest of his military? It's all up towards the north. Oh, look at this. Look how smart this diversion tactic is. He could make a run for it if he wanted to. Where's that king? There's a lot of Streltsy now looking to reinforce. Those are Streltsy, right? Yeah, Streltsy. I gotta be careful. They could be spearmen. You never know. These spears don't... I'm in his base, says Zertton. Zertton saying, I'm in his base. A lot of units inside the base here. He's got the cataphracts. He's got the elephants. He's got the cannons, the bombards. Beginning to work down the town center. And the retreat comes out. MSNDK falling back from Sass, recognizing, you know what? We don't want to die. And this, we kind of return back to that previous comment we were making about you got to have those cannon emplacements ready, and you just kind of got to give up these landmarks. Or at least you got to give up some of them, right? You have to be prepared, like Swabia. Ideally, in this situation, I'd be walling this bad boy in with stone walls. Maybe even looking to keep my king inside of it. But now, more spears rallying out towards this position. Should be able to defend, should be able to hold for the moment. 49 minutes into this game, and it looks like it is going the distance. MSNDK refusing to go down, and keep in mind, he is still in contention for the top 16 here. Somehow, the guy with 0 points is the guy who is playing for the top 16 right now. He may not know it, but we do. He needs to take that final sacred site. He needs to start looking for blood. He's had a hard game, a tough game, but you can feel him starting to get exhausted as his population begins to fall below that 300 mark. The Streltsy together with the spears holding the front, a couple lancers towards that top side. He's split his army up, and you never want to do that. You never want to split the army, especially facing off against two people. It's exactly what they want, and now all of a sudden you can see the trouble that he's in. Sass is on one front. On the other side, Zertton. And the chat continues. I cleared him. Finally. Or cleaned him, I think it says. Excuse me. And now that he's cleared it out, he can begin to push in underneath the keep where he'll lose all of his units to boiling oil. You'll love to see it. 8 bombards, baby. 8 bombards. Just remember where these come from. The High Armory. Oh, yeah. Can we get ourselves some Wandering Town in here, please? I don't think it's really worth it. Landmark number 1 going down. Keep in mind there's the chance of a landmark victory here, or at least a landmark kill. And I think they definitely both realize that now, as the potential for points continues. But keep in mind, even at this stage, Zertton, even if he got the double points, I don't think he can get it. How many points was Zertton? Zertton's on 1 point or 2? It's either 1 point or 2, whereas MSNDK's on 3. So he's able to get there. That's the difference. Swabia now on the south, also pressured. MSNDK falling apart at the seams. 130 population. They've finally done it. Bombards begin making their way in. MSNDK, you hate to see it. From 0 to hero. Back down to, well, not quite 0, but somewhere in the region of like 3 points. Somewhere in that region. Wallalol, not going to happen. Keep goes down. A lot of units. And there's the king, and there it goes. Sass now. Extra 50 pop for him, and that's going to mean that we have got a 2-horse race. But really, there's only one. We know the truth. You see, Sass has got an extra 100 pop. You know what that means? That means that he's got an extra 100 pop for military, or 100 pop for villages, or 100 pop for whatever the hell he likes. When it comes to these sorts of fights, the critical mass is key. And honestly, if I was in Sass's spot right now, I'd just be retreating. The most important thing that you can do right now is avoid fighting at this stage. You need to build up to your maximum population. And then from there, you're permitted to move out. But perhaps he was looking to fight over these relics. Perhaps he thinks he's got the numbers and can push back Zertton. Zerton's got 58, count them, 58 cataphracts. Now, how does Zertton go about winning this? If Zerton's thinking outside the box, he's thinking, okay, my enemy has got a massive population advantage over me. How could I possibly claim victory? Now, what does he know? If we ride on board with Zertton, does he know about this landmark? He does not. So there could, for all intents and purposes, be stone walls. But one thing that he knows as well is that he hasn't seen the Spasskaya Tower. He's seen the king located in the town center, and that is it. He has not seen Spasskaya. He has not seen any stone walls. So there is always the chance. There is always the prospect of going for a snipe. You need to have that in the back of your head. So in this position, I would say the best thing that you could do, as Zertton says, you're probably rich AF. As Zertton right here, delete 50 vills immediately. Build 50 cav. That's the first thing that you're going to do. The second thing that you're going to do is delete the rest of your villages and build 50 more cav. You can do scouts if you want, anything. And then from here, you're just going for a snipe. You're just going for a snipe. You're going to go through as many palisade walls as you can. And whether it's landmarks, whether it's the king, if it's the king, we'll take the king. But if we can't take the king, we'll try and take landmarks as well. And ideally, you want to do that as your enemy is being baited towards your base. Now, it's going to be hard when there's sacred sites in play. We can see right now that the sacred sites are in play, and that naturally means that Sass is just going to want to chill out. It means that Sass isn't going to want to push. It means that Sass isn't going to want to deviate from the plan. He's going to want to stay safe. He's going to want to stay central. And that also opens up another opportunity where you could potentially move towards a direction, encourage his army out in one spot, decap. But you've only really got one chance to go for the king snipe. Just keep that in mind. 9 minutes. Sass holding on. Keep in mind at this point, Sass, if he wins this game, it's going to help him a huge amount. If Zertton wins this game, it's not going to give him anything. So Sass wants to do everything he can to win this game, but for honor, Zertton wants to win. Of course, we all want to win. We don't play 54 minutes into a game just to type GG. We play 54 minutes into a game to type GG second. We want to type it after the other guy. We want them to say GG first, and we respond back to them GG. That's what we want. Cataphract number looking good here. Keep in mind, Zertton down 100 population in this game. 140, 160. On one side, Sass with a massive army here. And in the words of Zertton, he is rich AF. Cataphract number looking good. Keep in mind, no spearmen here, so he could charge through to the back if he wanted to get these Streltsy. I think he definitely should consider it. He's got quite a number of Cataphracts here, but he's not even going to need to charge the way these guys are overflowing off the front line. You can see the amount of troops he's got. There's a couple spearmen in the mix here. Not a huge amount, though, but he's getting absolutely melted. Zertton now down to 180 population. Sass going to continue with the push. Now, keep in mind, you don't actually get extra points for a Sacred Site victory if it's the final 2. It's only if it's the final 3. That's the way that it works, just because otherwise everyone would just take Sacred Sites and just wait for a Sacred Victory. And so because of that, we had to make that very specific inclusion. It's funny how when it comes to this, and oh, look at this. Zertton may be getting a little bit of the right idea here, but just execution, not 100. So the best thing that you can do, excuse me. Apologies. The best thing that you can do here is bait Sass into attacking you, into thinking he's killing you, while you're moving his army away from away from the main point, which is where the king is. Let's see if Zertton can put the 2 and 2 together here. Cataphracts charging forward, big charge onto the back line. Looks like he's going to hit the majority of those high-value targets. A little bit of pathing issues for our Cataphracts as more charges come through. Should be able to clean for the moment. Zertton down to 190 pop. Sass on 240. 6 minutes, 47 seconds for Sacred Victory. And Zerton's able to hold on a little bit longer. He could still do it with scouts. Honestly, he could still do it with scouts if he wanted to. Leave the Cataphracts here. Send the scouts to do the killing. And as long as you've got a couple Cataphracts in there to get the last hit on the king, you're Gucci. You're absolutely Gucci. Back towards the east side, though. Cataphracts now pushing out. Excuse me once again. Sorry. I think I'm getting a little bit nasally here. So, I do apologize. And now, 6 minutes on that Sacred Site. The neutralization comes through. It's going to hold the Sacred Site timer for the moment. 6:35. 3 Cataphracts on the bottom. And he's pushing out. I mean, Sass is maxed out, or almost maxed out, I should say. As long as he takes fights where he's maxed, he should be okay, technically. More Cataphracts over towards the west as well. We never saw this actually get walled in by any player. A really easy wall to make as well. You know, just across to the shoreline. If you really want to get fancy, you can wall this part in as well. No chance anything's breaking through that. Except for a battering ram, but we don't talk about that. All right, what have they got in chat? Didn't have spears. Need to have spears for this stuff, XD. Also, very messy game from me, says Sass. Is it a messy game from Sass? I don't think it's a messy game from Sass. I think he's done quite well this game. I think he's done pretty well, considering the circumstances. He had a lot of neighbors nearby. He was on the outside, so that's always an advantage, but I think he's played pretty well. I think he's played pretty well from him. I'm curious what he thinks he could do to improve, because he did the right thing, right? Like, he called out this expansion up towards the north from Matiz, shut it down immediately. That could have been a massive issue. Matiz could have taken over the lobby if it wasn't for that. And oh, is he doing it? The problem is you're doing it so close to the enemy army. You're showing your hand with all your torches in the air, right? Like, he sees this, and what's this going to do? This is going to spook him. So in this situation, like, the best thing that he could do is, I mean, you can't move down over towards this edge, but, like, maybe put the king all the way over here and, like, throw an outpost and throw some walls up potentially. Oh my lord, look at that. That's kind of wild, isn't it? You really want to avoid spooking a player, especially like that. Now we can see the Cataphracts breaking through, but at the same time, you know, it's one of those things where it just kind of comes down to execution, unfortunately, for Zertton. That all of the parts were there. He absolutely could have done this. And the other thing to note is you want the opponent to keep their Sacred Sites, mainly because you want to lull them into that false sense of security. You want them to anchor to those Sacred Sites, that you want it to be in their head, hey, I need to defend these Sacred Sites. I shouldn't move my army. This right here is not the reason for me to move my army. It's not a real threat. That's what you want. That's what you want them to think. A lot of resources on this map now dried up. You can see pretty much the remnants is just the berries, the deer, the boar. Nothing else really left. A couple gold veins, and that's it. There's some big ones out here as well. An 8k that's untouched on this west side. Still plenty of gold out here. There's another 8k that's untouched on the east side of the map. And now Zertton moving into Mangonel is definitely the right call here. Upgraders come through. Keep going to go down in the middle as well. Zertton going to try and push through. Keep in mind, all Sacred Sites have been neutralized, or at least for the moment. Wallow attempt on the south. Not going to happen. I think the cataphracts will get him. Indeed, they do. So they'll neutralize this sacred site as well. So all 3 sacred sites are now neutralized, all shut down. It's not like he was really going for the sacred victory. It was more just, you know, he was doing it for the gold, that sort of thing. You always got to take the sacred sites just for the gold, right? Just for the gold. By the way, can we talk about this stone wall? Stone wall kind of looking good. Stone wall looking very juicy. How we doing back here? No wonders getting placed down just yet. Zertton kind of working towards it. I don't think he's going to have the time. And even if he did have the time, I don't think he'd have the resources to be able to defeat sacred victory as well. You'd have to very much be playing around this sacred site and maybe like doing drops over here. Good luck against a player who's building wooden fortresses up and building line of sight up across this southern flank. Probably not going to happen. And back over towards the east. The armies begin to stare each other down. A single trader to lead the way. Lead them to victory, oh trader. Oh captain, my captain. Oh trader, my trader. Careful. Make sure that D remains a D and not a T. Could be a bit awkward. But now the tower elephants, together with the mangoes, fire off. A lot of cataphracts here. Spearmen moving up. Keep in mind the spearmen will be able to block the charge of the cataphracts. And in the back, a couple of cataphracts trying to make it through onto the bombards. Not going to be able to find it. 4 mangonels out, looking to see whether or not they can hit something from the top rope. Streltsy on the back. Mangoes to the front. Once again, not the most optimal of focuses. Bombards looking to hit down those mangoes on the back. And indeed, they focus down all of this position. And it's a good game gets called. Zertton taps out. Victory going over towards our player in blue. Ladies and gentlemen, Sass going to be taking it here as the Rus. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see what it looks like, that final scoreboard after the game. Excuse me. Let's do that. So we've got our scoreboard beforehand, and then we've got our scoreboard after, which is going to give us our top 16. Give me a second here. There we go. So Sass taking the victory. And of course, MSNDK going up to 5 points from that game. So there was absolutely an avenue for him to hit the front page. Now, one thing to note, this is our final 16. So today we say goodbye to 16 players. However, we've got a bit of an interesting situation here. Can you spot it? Well, we're saying goodbye to GUA, to Zertton, to Mattis, and Elyona. We're thanking them for everything that they did. There were some good plays in there. So thank you to Crackety. Thank you to Lash. Thank you to Recon. Thank you to Voldemar, to Myriad, to MSNDK. You did well today, my friend. You almost had it, Mike. Oh, gosh. The conversion was so close. Thank you to Faye. Thank you to Scatterbrained, Mio Maker, B, Anatand, but not to Louis MT. You see, we're going to have to look into this one. Louis MT and Kiljardi are both sitting on 14 points. So naturally, when they're sitting on 14 points, we look towards a tiebreaker. So what's the first tiebreaker that we use? The first tiebreaker that we use is how many games they've won. And as you'll see, they've both won 1 game. And then we look, how many kings have they killed? Or how many player kills have they got with regard to like their points? And you'll see that they both sit on 8. And that's where it gets a little bit spicy. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes here to see exactly what happened. So essentially, we have a whole list that we go down of point breakers. So I'm going to open up my handbook here just to walk you through this because this is important. This is relevant to the final 16 because at the moment, the only reason Louis MT is sitting in 17th and not 16th is because his name starts with L and Kiljardi's starts with K. So is the difference between them a letter? No, it is not. Okay, so when it comes to our, oh gosh, I've lost my train of thought. When it comes to our, gosh, what have I done? Give me a sec, I gotta pause. Okay, sorry about that. I had a bit of a brain fart, a little bit of a stroke, hopefully not. When it comes to our tiebreakers, we have a very specific list that we followed. So this is how it goes. Number 1, wonder victories. Number 2, sacred victories. Number 3, game victories. Number 4, player eliminations. And then finally, after that, landmark kills. So basically what happens is our admin had to go back through the tournament and count how many landmark kills actually had happened between Kiljardi and how many did Louis MT get? That's an interesting question. Let me provide you the answer to that right here, right now. Give me a second. Okay, so this is from our admin. Louis MT and Kiljardi both on 14 points. Kiljardi breaks the final tiebreaker of landmark kills with 5 to Louis' 4. Kiljardi moves on to the semi-finals, and Louis MT is eliminated from the tournament. And our admin puts in a little fun fact here. He says, fun fact, Louis killed 2 House of Learnings. Just thought I'd slip that fact in. There you go. So 2 House of Learning kills for Louis for some reason. There you go. Anyway, we've got our top 16, ladies and gentlemen. So what's going to happen from here? You may be wondering. Well, the good news is from here, it is a simple path forward. We're going to take that last page over there on the right. So fortunately, the cards did fall in favor of Kiljardi here today. We're going to halve all of the points for the players on the left. And then if there's a rounding error, they will be rounded down. So Corvinus 1 goes from 57 down to 20... 26, 27, 28. Goes down to 28 points. It's not 28.5, it's 28. Puppy Paw will go down to 18, so on and so forth, and we will do that down for all of our players here. Kiljardi obviously going from 14 to 7. And then they will play semi-final games. They'll play 2 sets of semi-final games each. And they'll be randomly assorted between those games. And then from there, the players, or the 8 players with the most points after those games are played, will progress. So it means that players like Corvinus 1, who's already got 57 points and moves to the grand finals, or moves to the semi-finals with 28 points, is almost certainly going to go to the grand finals. And honestly, like, he could just no-show, and we'd be like, yep, well, Corvinus is still through, even though he didn't play games, 9 and 10. But the point is that he's still going to play them. Don't worry. He breathes FFA, so it's not going to happen. But it basically means that our players that are super far ahead, like Corvinus 1, he's going to get through. But Puppy Paw, he goes from 36 points down to 18. Okay, Kiljardi goes from 14 to 7. That's only 11 points difference between them, right? In this game, in this very game right here, we had an opportunity to see a player pick up 15 points in a single game. Okay? We could have seen MSNDK go from 0 points, bottom of the ladder, to the top 16 in a single game. It could have happened. So to say that it wouldn't happen in the semifinals would be ludicrous. So just keep that in mind, that Kiljardi, despite only being on 7 points, could absolutely move to the top of the table and progress through to the finals. Keep in mind, once we're in the grand finals, we take the top 8 players, and then we will remove all of their points. They start fresh. And then from there, we have 5 games of good, hard fun. Anyway, we leave it there, and we look forward to the next game. The next game will be not grand finals, semifinals. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.